The story begins with the visionary who designed Washington, D.C., Pierre Charles L'Enfant. His plan wasn't just roads, it was a blueprint for a European-style capital, grand, geometric, and revolutionary. But L'Enfant and the early founders faced a huge problem. The land was a swamp. It was muddy, prone to flooding, and plagued by disease. To solve the foundational stability issue and to accommodate the needs of a rapidly growing federal workforce, an engineer named Frederick E. Hundt proposed a radical solution. Let's build down. The plan wasn't just basements, it was a functioning infrastructure. The original intent was to build a system of large brick-lined tunnels underneath the city's major avenues, like underground streets. These passages were intended to serve multiple functions. First, they would act as massive storm drains to mitigate the swampy conditions. Second, they were meant to house utilities like water and early sewage lines. And eventually, third, they were planned to hold storage vaults, workshops, and even small dwellings for maintenance workers and early government staff. They essentially started to build an entirely new city layer below the existing one. They were literally digging down to build up, attempting to solve the environmental problems through engineering magic. This was an act of pure early American audacity. The dream of the underground city was short-lived. Why did the project fail? It came down to three major issues. First, cost. The expense of laying massive amounts of brick and excavating the difficult terrain, largely done by enslaved labour, spiralled out of control. Second, engineering disaster. The tunnels often didn't drain properly, leading to flooding and turning them into perfect breeding grounds for disease and rats, defeating the original purpose of sanitation. Third, fear. As the tunnels expanded, rumours spread. People became convinced the maze of passages was being used for nefarious purposes, espionage, secret meetings, or worse. The public perception shifted from grand vision to eerie conspiracy. The official work was gradually and quietly abandoned in the early 1800s. Today, the bulk of this early network is sealed off, forgotten, and too unstable to enter. But parts of it still exist and are functional. When you walk the halls of the Capitol, you are walking over these abandoned streets. The earlier structures of the White House and the Capitol still use remnants of this initial subterranean system for foundations and storage. Even the modern, highly secure Capitol subway system, the trains that ferry Congress members, runs close to, or sometimes crosses paths with, the crumbling, brick-lined relics of Hundt's failed plan. Historians suggest the scale of the original network was far larger than officially recorded, extending further into the city's old quadrant than anyone knows. The failure of the project left behind a perfect canvas for modern urban legends. Today, these passages are rumoured to connect to the Library of Congress, the White House, and even to secret bunkers. They fuel countless theories about secret government meetings, lost historical artefacts, or perhaps even the final resting places of some of the original enslaved labourers who dug them. The simple truth is that these tunnels are mostly just flooded, decaying brickwork, a testament to a poorly executed vision. But the enduring myth proves that Americans love a good conspiracy, especially when it involves the secrets hiding just beneath the symbols of power. The story of the hidden city beneath the Capitol is a fundamental part of Washington, D.C.'s identity. It represents the audacity and the hubris of the young nation, attempting to engineer away its problems with sheer ambition. It reminds us that every grand structure has a dark, forgotten foundation. And sometimes the most profound secrets of US history aren't buried in documents, but simply buried under the streets. If this hidden history beneath America's power center surprised you, hit subscribe to the Chrono-Crypt now. We reveal the forgotten secrets of US and European history every single day. Tap the screen to watch our next video on the bizarre dancing plague of 1518.